Yeah, that's exactly how it started, and called me sort of out of the blue and said, "This is Vince McMahon." And I said, "Okay."
Yeah.
And he said, "Listen, what do you know about wrestling?" And I said, "Absolutely nothing." He said, "Perfect. How'd you like to come up and audition to host a show?" And I said, "Perfect." And that's how it started. He said, I really want somebody with an outside perspective. I want somebody who, comes in here and just learns it as they go. And it's a fan, basically. I want a fan. And you have a little bit of ability. So let's see how you do. Come up and audition. And that's how it started.
Yeah. And Vince at that time was really, experimenting. Your story, and we just had Rob Bartlett on, and I'm sure you remember who he is, and of course was a big part of radio in New York with Imus. But it was kind of the same thing. I mean, Vince was a fan of the Imus show as well, and had brought Robin, and he was the same way. But when you went up there, like when I was also an outsider, I didn't know what the hell I was doing when I first got there. How did you prepare? I mean, he kind of gave you that and said, "Hey, no problem. Now, I don't care if you know nothing, but I have a feeling that, you're somebody who has always prepared in your career. What did you do to prepare for that ride up to Stamford?"
It was really strange, Sean, because I didn't know how to prepare. I mean, you couldn't cram all kinds of knowledge into, I think it was literally a 2-day period where he may have called me on a Tuesday and said, "Well, how's Thursday, after your show?" So I was like, "Okay." I mean, what the hell did I know? I was like, "Sure, well, let's do this. This will be fun." So they sent a town car, which, hey, for me, I was like, if I don't get anything else out of this, I get a ride in a town car, and
Right.
I'll meet Vince, and this will be a fun day. So
a great story.
I showed up. Yeah. So I showed up. They brought me to the studio, and everybody, and I always say this, was just the nicest to me immediately. There were no prima donnas. It was just salt of the earth people, and right on down from Vince to the people that drove for them. Just great people. So I was ushered into a studio where I think in typical Vince McMahon fashion, he put me on ice for a little while. He just wanted me to sit there and look around and think about it. And I had done a little bit of television. I, dabbled. So I felt like I was okay. And, in radio, you have to talk. You have to sort of fill 4 hours. So you can never really be at a loss for words. But I had no idea what to expect. I said, this guy asked me any wrestling questions. I mean, I'm done. I'm done. I have no idea what I'm doing. So in comes this 3-piece suit, and you open the door and the shadow it was right out of a movie, It was unmistakably Vince McMahon, and he walks in and he shakes your hand with that 1,000-pound grip that
How
he
you doing, pal?
How you doing, pal? The slick back hair, and it was great. And he said, "So, again, you don't know anything about wrestling?" I said, "Well, I mean, I remember you in your powder blue suit, when I was surfing the channels." And he sort of laughed at that. And he said, "All right, well, let's roll the cameras here." And then he literally threw me a bottle of water and said, "Sell it to me. But you got to do it in 2 minutes even." So I sold him a bottle of water for 2 minutes. It's the best water I've ever tasted. This water comes from a spring that is far up in the mountains in Saratoga, New York. And I just went on and I riffed on it for 2 minutes. They gave me a countdown. I hit it. And he said, "That was terrific." That was my interview.